All right. Hello, friends, and welcome back. I've got Doug with me today with Decon's Cardboard, and we are here for a big brouhaha. It's a 4-year anniversary for 4 different channels. We've got Scott of Reindeer Studios, Tony Black of TB's TTM Autographs, Eddie of Eddie's Cardboard Chaos, and Eric of Four Leaf Cards. So congratulations to all those guys for 4 years on YouTube. That's quite the feat of stamina to be producing videos for our hobby for that long. So good work, guys, and thanks for offering up this contest to the community. Doug and I have gotten together because we've got some cards that we share in common and that we'd like to show for you. Doug, you want to kick things off with our first one?
Yeah, and I just want to reiterate what he said about the 4 nice channels. Pointing in the right direction. There we go. This guy.
There you go.
Yes, so to kick things off, we have a beautiful card in the hobby. I think a lot of people really love this card. So this is 1972 Topps Roberto Clemente. Such a stunning image. And this is one of my childhood cards. That I got around, I would have gotten it around 1987 in some trade with older kids who just didn't appreciate their vintage cards. How about you, my friend John?
This one here was convinced that I had to purchase Clemente by another member of the community. That would have been Lou Rock that finally pushed me over the edge. And I had to get one that said Roberto.
Yeah. I think this is such a nice card. It's
so gorgeous.
Yeah, it's one of the nicest cards around. It's so nice.
Yeah,
I think Adam from Splendid Sports picked it as when we did a 3-3 between him, Dylan, and I think he picked it as one of his favorite cards of all time.
Yeah, and out of the affordable Roberto choices, this one's the best by far.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Good start here. Up first for me, 60 Topps. Been watching my channel at all, you know I kind of like that set a little bit. Kind of like the design. Well, this next card was the card that I started going for it with 60 Topps. My first purchase was obviously the guy behind me, Willie Mays. But then once I decided I was just going to keep rolling with 60 Topps, this was the next card I purchased was the Bob Gibson. And this guy was just such a dominant presence on the mound, such a great athlete even. I've said before, if this guy were around today, he would probably be a Hall of Fame caliber point guard in the NBA. He was that good that he was invited to join the Harlem Globetrotters and also had a chance where he could have played in the early NBA. Of course, that was at a time where they had unwritten rules of how many people could be on a team of his ethnicity. Yep. So spots were limited, but most people say he was every bit like the ball player of like Oscar Robertson. So
wow. And one of the things this is an awesome looking card, but like his 1959, I love that card. The people call it the Pepto-Bismol card.
Oh yeah.
But it's very expensive. It's a very expensive card. And the second year cards are always cheaper, but the fall isn't usually quite this steep. It's like this card can be had for quite a bargain, and you're not if you won't get the Pepto-Bismol card ripped up in 2 pieces for under $200.
Oh yeah. So whereas this one, you can get one that looks really nice like Doug and I have for the $30-ish range.
Yeah, exactly. Every once in a while I check back in. I'm like, has Pepto-Bismol gone down yet? No, damn it. Still don't have that one. But love the second year. All right. So I'll go next.
Yep.
So this card I've mentioned a lot. That we're in the 1960s still. This Hank Aaron card was also a card that I got when I got it when I was 13. And it was the pride and joy of my collection. The best card in my collection until probably 2019, when I got back into vintage. When I started getting back into vintage a little bit. So this card was was just really the most treasured card I've ever had. I've basically like put it on a pedestal for decades.
I can't even imagine owning one of these when I was a kid. So
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, for mine, that was the final Hall of Famer to complete my 60 run for me. So that was a significant moment for that card.
Yeah, that's cool.
Up next, Stan the Man. You know, his last few years of cards. I mean, of course, he does not have very many Topps cards.
Right.
You know, with his first one, what's that, 58 All-Star?
58 All-Star, and then the first time he was properly in the card was in 59.
Yeah, and then his last one, I'm pretty sure, is 63.
Yeah. So yeah,
very limited Topps run for this guy, and that's crazy because he is the man, or so they say.
I love so many of his cards. I only have 2 of his Topps cards. This one and his 58 All-Star. And that 58 All-Star is stunning and easy, and I think it was triple produced. All right, so now this guy is when I got back into collecting in 2019 was really one of the players that I felt like I had discovered all of a sudden. Luke Easter, just a tremendous story of a former Negro Leaguer whose history was a little bit murky. And he didn't start baseball until his mid to late 20s in the Negro Leagues, got into a car accident when he was, I think, barnstorming, and broke his leg and had a bum knee for the rest of his career, but still managed to hit like 30 home runs at 35-ish and have a short career in his mid-30s in the major leagues. And he was quite the power hitter for the short time he was there.
And such a great looking card. You got to love the Don Field of Dreams post.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the kneeling. It's awesome, and more than enough bats.
Oh, but as strong as he looks like a guy who could have one of those little handfuls of bats.
Oh yeah. He was a big dude. Yeah. He was now. This is just a little. And this is not happy news, but he was murdered in 1979.
Way to uplift the video.
Yeah, so I noticed you seemed a little sad. I was trying to cheer you up, John.
Okay.
So he worked for something like the Airline Transit Authority, and he handled their payroll. He brought their payroll to the bank, and he was held up for the money, and he refused to give it away, and they shot him. So so let's go to the next card.
All right.
No, but I mean, it makes the story all the more interesting. But he was a really kind of happy-go-lucky guy who I think he played a really long time in the minors after his major league career, just because he loved being in the game. So he's mostly like a joyful story.
Okay. Except for that end. All right. This next card, I was actually inspired to buy this one after seeing it on a couple of channels, including wrong way. That channel. It was the first time or first or second time. I don't remember who was first. I don't even remember the other person.
It was me.
But a couple different channels showed this card in around the same time.
This was the first guy.
Okay. But I purchased it raw and got it graded. Had no idea what it was going to grade like because it's not really like a normal baseball card. And was very shocked when I got that. On that 1911.
Beauty. That is so crazy nice. So mine is a Pedestrian 3. But wow. To have a 1913 card graded an 8 is pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, and the fact that it's my highest graded vintage card.
Yeah. I'm trying creative angles now.
And, my second oldest.
Yeah. That's a sweet card. It just glistens, that 8. All right. So now we're going to go with a 1901 war correspondent. Everyone knows this guy is a war correspondent from 1901. That's what he's.
Oh yeah, that's
what he's
the
most
complete
famous.
story of his fame, right?
Yeah, Winston Churchill, the 1901 war correspondent. I'm not sure what he did after that, but I'll tell you this: he was a war correspondent in 1901 and earlier. And I'm just happy to have the card. John, anything you'd like to say about young Winston?
He was quite the storyteller. So he, the stories of his time as the war correspondent are kind of unsure. There's multiple stories of how he was captured and ultimately escaped from a prison during what was called the Second Boers War in South Africa. And there's conflicting stories of who actually held him captive. And the story that turned into a best-selling book is how he ended up becoming famous to the point of being on trading cards in 1901.
Being Cardboard.
Yes, because he appeared in quite a few different tobacco sets in 1901 because he was a relative celebrity, and then he turned that celebrity into then being elected to Parliament.
Now they were all Ogdens, though, right?
There was another brand. I'm not remembering off the top of my head.
Yeah, you'll have to send me more on that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I think there's only 2 different brands, but there's like 4 or 5 different Ogden variations.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Yeah, exactly. And I have I have 2 of them, so that they're just different in how they're labeled. But there's a bunch.
But he wove some tales there, I think, to help himself get famous.
Yep.
He was an ambitious guy. His father was previously a member of Parliament and then member of cabinet posts in the government. His grandfather was also a Parliament member, all in the House of Commons. They weren't nobility necessarily. Until I did, but
Nepo baby.
Yeah. So, all right.
I could always tell Winston was a Nepo baby because he didn't work for it.
No, he put himself in the right position because he was only 26 years old at this point.
He mailed it in WW2. He wasn't working. He was just a Nepo baby all the way through.
It seems to have worked out in the end that his ambition put him in the right spot at the right time ultimately. Exactly. So he was what the UK needed, to get through the war. So, but all right,
Don, you were what I needed to get through this video. So,
thank you, Doug. Same back at you.
So it's full circle.
All right, I think we satisfied the deed here for those 4 great channels.
Yeah, so we should be something now. I think, in other words. So let's.
Now is just when the winning starts. We get prizes or something.
Yeah, just send us stuff. And there's 2 of us, so send double the fun.
Yeah. Well, I think there's 4 different people giving away stuff, and then there's a big prize too. So,
we should just get it all. Hopefully,
just send it all this way.
Yeah,
that works for me. But I guess that's about it, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for working with me, Doug. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time.